Hello and welcome to another episode of FPL Expectations with me, Craig. So much going on. Game week 18 and 19 is coming up very, very shortly for all of us. And it's one of those game weeks where we actually don't really know what we're doing. And when I say we, we're not only talking about myself, we're talking about the experts that I'm bringing to the show. And this week we have Mariner, FPL Mariner. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. Yeah, not too bad.
We've got Joe FPL in the house. How you doing?
Good. Not too bad.
And for the first time ever making his debut, FPL Swing. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Hello, everyone.
Oh.
Nice to be here for the first time.
Yeah, definitely. Good to have you on here. Well, the reason why we brought you on is because there's so much to discuss. There's so many theories. There's so many chips to be used. The wild card, a second wild card of the season is in play now. I can see Mariner there. He's got his lucky coin that he's going to flip, and he's going to do it on the show. So we'll know. I'm putting you on the spot there. But we literally don't even know what we're doing right now. The experts don't even know what they're doing, and that's why Mariner has his lucky coin out to decide which chip he's going to use, how he's going to use it, and how he's going to navigate through game week 18 and 19. I will say this, though, before we start the show, that one of us here has already played their chips for game week 18. So as the show goes on, we're going to know. You might be able to tell from the expressions, or the finger pointing, but I'm not going to do anything. We're going to get straight into it and find out more on how the experts are doing with the game week 18 and 19 teams. Joe, I'm going to come to you first. Now, It's been one of those weeks where after you had a pretty good 17, I'm sure you had a few green arrows there. But I was speaking about someone who's played their chip already, and you are the one. And you played it really early on as well. Talk us through that, which chip you played, and why you played it so early on.
Okay, because I think I've shared on the show before that I was quite determined to play the free hit chip on game week 18 because firstly I was geared towards game week 19. So basically I bring players in which do not have games on game week 18. So basically, going all in with my chip, just like in poker, going all in. So yeah, because if I don't play the free chip, I will have only 5 players, including Lamptey.
who we now call Sick Note on the show.
That's 4. That's 4 then, right?
Mariner, that's probably 3.
Joe, do you want to borrow my stress ball I got for Christmas?
Oh, I think I need it, man. So basically, I don't have a choice, I guess, in a way, So I activated it as soon as the deadline's over. I mean, as soon as the deadline's over.
Yeah, I think you did it the following day, right? Straight after the game week, and then you pulled it, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I did it on a Sunday morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was definitely a morning because I woke up to a barrage of text messages on the group chat, and you're like, "Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I can't take it back." And that's been the case the whole week, to be honest with you. But it was an interesting one, interesting choice to show. Obviously, I don't think you're going to be the only one playing the free hit chip this week. I think that is the chip that majority of FPL players will be using. But there is the reason why we say you've done it really early. And in a normal season, that would be perfectly fine because, you've got your plan, you're sitting, you set in your ways, you know what you want to do. But this is not an ordinary season, is it? And with, the situation, how it is in the UK, national lockdown. However, sport is still going ahead, which is good for us FPL managers. But there's still always that danger that games could be cancelled if there's an outbreak, as we've seen over the last month?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think partly because I didn't have enough sleep that night, so I woke up thinking, oh no, I gotta play my free hit chip. I gotta bring in players that are the price are gonna rise, So I did it, and then I was like, oh crap. But anyway, I can't cancel it right now. So
Yeah.
so
you've gone ahead with it. You've gone full steam ahead with that free hit chip. And I'm just going to get your team up, Joe. Just talk us through what you've done already with your team.
Yeah, this is my first draft. I think I have like 4 drafts so far, and I stopped at. Things the drafts are slowly getting crazier, so I decided to not tinker anymore. But this is my first draft. Currently bringing in players with price rise. This is only a draft, but I think I've replaced a few of the players here because their price was going to rise. So I will only decide close to the deadline. But right now, seem fairly certain to triple on City and at least double on United. Spurs, maybe.
You got triple United there.
No. Seem fairly certain to double United.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Triple City, double United attack. Maybe 1 or no Spurs, because I've sort of read through Late Riser's tweets and also his I think his latest article saying that if you are on a free hit chip, you might as well go Maverick. So Maverick meaning this is the chance to do something different, because free hit chip, the beauty of free hit chip is you can just screw around with your team, just do whatever you want to do something different, and then you revert back to the previous team. So
saying that, sorry, Joe, I just want to interrupt you there. When it goes back to the previous team, how many double game week players do you have for 19 then?
I am currently on 10 double game week players. Okay. So the only one being Son, the single game week player. But the tentative plan is probably to drop Trent Alexander-Arnold to Stones, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if my budget allows. And then Son goes up to KDB for the double game.
So you're looking to take hits for your double game week, and you're looking to get about 12 players. Is that right?
12 including Taylor, which I am still not sure whether he's fit enough or not. Yeah.
And you're talking about Taylor from Burnley.
Burnley, yeah.
He's had his hamstring, hasn't he?
Yeah. So still out, it seems, but who knows? Game week 19 is a few days away. So I would definitely have 11 double game week players, and I'll play I'll play the triple captain chip on game week 19. I could I could keep it and just play like a normal game week with 11 starting players that have double game weeks, because there might be rumors of a triple game week for Spurs.
Yeah,
pretty unlikely, but it's pretty enticing.
Yeah,
so
I think with the situation as well, you just can't call it that far ahead. We're talking about game week 18, and we're still not certain if all the games are going ahead, and let alone talk about game week 29 and things like that. So there are rumors floating about of a really good double game week in the future. They talk about this triple game week that could happen for Spurs. So you've weighed it all up. Obviously, you didn't have enough sleep and all that. You triggered your free hit chip. This is roughly the team you're going with for game week 18, and then Do you have your 19 team that it goes back to that you can get up, and or do you not have that on?
I don't have it on. I think I have the game week 17.
Okay, you get week 17 team, which
So
is basically this.
that's my game week 17 team.
Okay.
So as you can see, my first 11, only Sun does not have a double game week. So most probably I'll downgrade, or who knows, maybe it's an upgrade trend to Stones, and Sun to either Sterling or KDB.
KDB, yeah. Okay,
So
perfect.
Yeah.
So free hit triggered for you, Joe. More likely to play your triple captain, or almost certain, I'd say, to play your triple captain in game week 19. Sweng, we're going to come to you. First time on the show. I'm going to put you under a lot of pressure straight up. Yeah, I mean, we're keen to see what you're going to bring to the show. What have you done in terms of game week 18 and game week 19? I don't see your screen up here. Do you want to get it up again?
Let me check.
Share your screen with us, so we can get that up. There we go. Yeah, we've got it now. Sweng, talk us through game week 18 and game week 19 and your plans for both weeks.
All right. So I'm still not completely sure, but this is my game week 18 after planning my transfers. I plan to do Salah to KDB and either Welbeck to Calvert-Lewin or Wilson. That will give me 8 players, but Taylor really isn't one, so 7.
So 7, yeah. So you're looking at 7 players for the blank game week 18. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussions. I think Mariner himself put out a poll sometime. Was it this week or last week, Mariner? Can't remember.
Put a couple out, to be honest.
You put the one which you asked the FPL community how many players you think is good for game week 18.
Yeah, that was 8.
Yeah, that was 8, right? So Mariner put one out. He said, or the FPL community said about 8 will be good. Are you prepared to take hits? Are you looking to play your free hits? Are you playing your wild card? What are you planning to do, Swing?
I'm actually very much leaning towards a free hit.
Okay.
But I haven't activated it right now.
Any reason for that?
Well, basically, lack of players. I've Welbeck and Taylor. I don't.
No, but any reason for not triggering the free hit chip? Is it just the uncertainty that's going around right now? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if the matches will go on. Yeah.
So you're going to keep it late, really close, pretty much to the deadline. But we're just having a look at the team that you got here. I mean, so talk us through what free hits you're planning to do, what transfers you're looking to make, and talk us through it and why.
For free hit team?
Yes.
All right, this is one of the drafts I made.
Okay, so you've got Carl Darlow in goal against Sheffield United. You've got a City combo at the back of Diaz and Cancelo with Kieran Clark, and then it's Saka, Son, Grealish, Bruno, De Bruyne, which is a pretty powerful midfield there, and right up top you've got Kane and Calvert-Lewin.
This is a conservative option.
Conservative option. I like it. Yeah, let's see your other one then. Let's see your more less conservative one. So you've got Rashford, you've got Bruno, De Bruyne, Son and Saka in there, Stones and Cancelo at the back, Tierney. Yeah, Arsenal. I mean, just looking, you've obviously got your 3 Arsenal there. Arsenal have picked up in form recently. They look a lot better defensively. Lacazette scoring goals. I think he's got 3 returns in the last 3 games. And obviously Saka's been chipping in with a few as well. Arsenal don't have a double game week in 19. But obviously, since you're playing your free hit, that doesn't really affect. But just talking about Arsenal assets, are they ones that you think we should be looking to target, especially with a great run of fixtures coming up?
Yeah. Especially Saka or or Tierney. I really like Saka. Since the Chelsea game, he's playing at right winger. He has a goal contribution in every single game.
He does. And obviously, Tierney popped up with a goal the other week. He gets up and down that left-hand side, doesn't he? Okay, so this is, which are you more likely to go for, going into game week 18? I mean, you showed us your conservative draft. This is your less conservative, your more attacking draft. I mean, surely with your free hit chip, you've got to attack the week.
Yeah, I'll be leaning towards triple Arsenal.
Yeah, triple Arsenal, yeah. Yeah, and obviously with De Bruyne there, he's got to be one of the favourites for the armband.
Yeah, or Fernandes.
Or Fernandes. Yeah. I know Mariner's nodding his head in agreement there. We'll go all over your metric in a while if you have it, and we'll see what that says. You haven't got it. All right.
I know what it is, but I haven't got it on the screen, but I know what it is.
All right, that's fine. So we can talk about that. So this is your free hit team. What happens when it reverts back to a game week 17 team in 19? What are you planning to do? Are you one of those that are going to triple captain? Are you have you got enough to bench boost? What's your team looking like for 19?
Wait. Where is it? I lost. Give me a moment.
Yeah, no worries. Mariner, what do you think of Swing's game week 18 team so far?
I mean, I just think, how many points are you trying to achieve from a blank game week 18 free hit side? I've messed about with various strategies to try and find a way. And I seem to only find about a 20 point variance between running with about 7 or 8 players in a free hit side.
Yeah.
So I'm always, you say attack it, Craig, but I'm not sure how much you can attack it with that sort of game, because Palace on the day, Zaha can definitely score, right?
Yeah.
So there's your Arsenal clean sheet gone. I actually think I quite like I quite fancy a 0-0 draw between Sheffield United and Newcastle.
Fancy a 0-0 draw, did you say?
Yeah, I quite fancy. So there you go. Double Sheffield, double Newcastle defence. There you go. Listen to Mariner. No, I'm only joking. With all seriousness,
get that -5 for your keeper and your defender then.
With all seriousness, though, I think Newcastle defence or Darlow certainly isn't a bad idea. But for me, I think I've been saying this for a while now. I would put all my effort into the forward lines, and probably not Spurs. It's my view. That's my
swing.
That's my perspective.
All right,
okay. You've got your 19 up now. So are you along the same lines as Joe? Are you looking to take a couple of hits to get about 11 in triple captain, or do you have enough to bench boost for 19?
I don't plan to bench boost at all.
Okay.
My keeper doesn't play, and I'm well back.
No, for you mean your bench?
Yeah, I don't have enough to bench boost in game 19.
So in terms of double game week players, how many do you have? I'm just looking through it. You've got Martinez. He's got one. Robertson. Justin Cancelo. So you've got majority of that are pretty much everyone apart from Kane. So you've got 10. I mean Welbeck's on the bench, but you still got like people like Dallas to come in if that changes. But so you've got a good 10 that will get you your double game week points. So you're going to remain then. I'm guessing. Is this after a hit? This is not after a hit. This is your game week 17 team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking good in terms of you can triple captain.
Yeah. If I want to triple captain, it will be Salah, but we still don't know whether Spurs will have a triple game week later on. So I'll probably just captain and be safe.
Okay. So just captain. So you're going to play it safe. You're not going to even use a chip for game week 19 as of now.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Swain, thank you for that. Thank you for showing us your team. Mariner, we're going to come over to you. Now, we've had a lot of discussions over the past week in terms of what we're going to do. I mean, our group chat has been, Joe has been pretty much been doing that, tearing his hair out every time we brought up game week 18 and 19. But we've all had our chats between ourselves. We looked at certain data, certain stats, and yet we still don't know which is the best strategy to use over the next 2 weeks.
No, I mean the problem is it's just such a new moving target. I mean, first thing, going back to Joe's early fire of his wild card. I mean, clearly Joe free hit, so clearly realised that was a mistake. But it might be fine. But you've just got to hope to God that the game doesn't get postponed. Or a game gets moved in. Particularly if a games get moved in, that would be an absolute disaster. Because everybody else then wouldn't need to do anything, particularly if that Leeds Southampton game got moved in, and there is a slight chance that could happen. I know Joe was all ready to quit last night when that news broke. I mean, look, being honest, I just think it is. If there is a lesson to learn from this season, it is wait. I can't tell you how many times I've put that Braveheart gif on hold on Twitter.
Joe clearly didn't see that.
I just think that's half the thing. You've just got to wait. And don't wait till Tuesday, like I told Joe to, because that's after the deadline. But not that I'm winning the mini league at all, Joe. Honestly, it's really not.
Yeah.
but no, with all seriousness, Craig, you do have to wait, and I'm still really sitting on the fence. I said the other week I'm at a crossroads. Crossroads, did I say? I actually think I'm more like on a roundabout now, just spinning round and round in circles, not knowing which way to go. I've been to Swindon and gone round that roundabout near the football ground with 7 roundabouts on one roundabout. That's how I feel. Honestly, it's just how I feel. So I've really
because you look at it and there's so many possibilities. Yeah. There's the uncertainty. There's possible injuries and what have you not. But it's more on who's missing out, and it could be on the day of a game that someone fails a COVID test, and that's it. And if you're missing 2 players out of your game week 18 squad, I mean, you might as well say goodbye.
That's right, and I think that's the problem, and that's the worry I've got. If I am going to do probably one of 2 things, I'm either going to free hit or I'm going to wildcard. I think I am too nervous to. I'm just too nervous to go in with 8 players and then lose one.
Yeah, I mean, especially I think we got to take into account your OR rank as well.
Well, and that's right, and this is why I've put this. I noticed you just put this up on the screen. How many people are going to free hit around me? Well, I went and did some digging, and I went onto Premier Fantasy Tools. Credit to them, and also checked a few of my mini leagues, and I think around 15% of people have already played their free hit chip around me. So then, if you look at the next poll, and you see that 50% are definitely free hitting. This was last week. If you then just take it at 50, 50% of 85 is 42.5, right? So there's 42.5% of the managers around me potentially are free hitting. It could be even more than that because the undecideds could even go, more people could probably go to free hit. but equally, if a fixture moves, less work. But my view is expected loss for me would be around 20 points, somewhere in that sort of region. Now, when you're in the position you're in, when I'm around 10k now, 20 points would take me down nearly 50, about 40k, I think.
Really?
Yeah, something like 50 points is still quite. I don't know what's happened. There's a bit of sound quality problem.
Yeah.
But the perspective really for me is that how comfortable am I playing the free hit? Actually, just got some problems with the sound. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I think, boys, just check your sounds because it's playing up a little bit.
Might be me, actually. Might be me. Is that better?
Yeah, a lot better. Yeah.
Right. Just maybe had a loose connection. Sorry about that. So no, that's my initial feeling. So if I was to go with 8, I think I'd be worried about it. So hence what I then started to look at, and ignore game week 17 because I never took it off. And this is where so I then looked at, well, okay, if I did try to, this is what I would have gone with a running through 18. So I would have had someone like, Martinez, Diaz, Fernandez, Grealish, De Bruyne, who would have come in for Salah, Calvert-Lewin, and Martial would have come in for Davis, and Diaz would have come in for Alexander-Arnold. So I would have made 3 changes for a -4, only had 8 players, and then looked at it and thought, I'm really just not 100% happy with this. So, and then I could lose another one. And if you looked at where I would be at 19, and obviously you can see there would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'd actually have 12 double game week. I would have plenty of double game weekers there. It wouldn't be a problem having those. But the issue is, I wouldn't be able to bench boost because I've got Peacock, Farrell, who wouldn't get any points even if he was playing, as I said before to a few people. But also Davis.
Yeah,
so
Davis.
it's just not. So it's just not going to work. So for that side, and for that reason, I'm actually starting to warm to a wild card. And I'll be honest with you, this time last week, when I was questioning a few people on Twitter about this time last week, but the more I think about it, the more it might be feasible. And the reason for that is, first of all, now that we know we obviously know that Manchester City now are in the final of the League Cup, so there's another blank game week. So they're going to have a number of double game weeks, and they look like they're all going to be thrown in around 24 to around 27 at this moment in time. So it could all change, of course. Adding to that, Spurs are looking like they're probably going to have a double game week around about 20, maybe 26. And like Joe said, also probably maybe even a triple game week later in the season.
Yeah, there's that possibility.
So this really makes me think I'm not too keen on using my triple captain in 19, first thing. And secondly, if I'm sort of like trying to run with 8 or 9 players, but then I can't get to a bench boost, am I just missing out on an opportunity? Do you see what I'm getting at? Yeah, so with that in mind, I can run with, it looks like around 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. So I could go with 10 players in 18, playing a wild card, make 1 move in 19, Lacazette to Vardy, and then bench boost.
Okay. And that's what you're leaning more towards right now.
At the moment, and the reason is, if I looked at the net, I'll just show you the projections, and this is credit to FPL Review. So I mean, I've been digging around all over the place, really, but there's some really
haven't we all
stuff out there, right? Isn't there? There really is. So if you're rolling with the punches, you're sort of like looking at 488 points. If you're free hitting and triple, I think I've got the wrong way around actually. Free hit, yeah. So anyway, 488 for rolling with the punches. I think at triple captain, free hit and triple captain would give me about 20 more points. But wildcard and bench boost, would give me nearly 50 more points.
Yeah,
far off. So I think on the balance of it, and looking particularly if you look at game week 19, potentially could be enormous.
Yeah,
as a bench boost, absolutely huge.
Yeah,
right,
massive.
And that's a pretty conservative estimate, really, because it's only talking about people getting 6 points or something like that, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. So of course that doesn't take. Of course some people will get 4. Well, some people only play 1 game. So you've got to look at it in real terms. Loads of things can change, but it really does look like the wild card and then fixing it with single moves towards 26 might be the way to go. And then I could then always decide when I get closer to 26, do I then free hit in 26 and go after that double game week with a free hit with another 11 doubles instead of everybody free hitting and in a game which might not be that great.
Yeah.
Or equally free hitting 29 when there's the blank. So I can decide as I move towards that.
There's more flexibility, isn't there?
And a very interesting point, and again, kudos to Ben Crellin. I mean, how this guy does it, I know. I don't know how he does these things, but it broke last night that they are going to draw the 4th and 5th round of the FA Cup at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, because they're doing that, we will know, and we might even be able to predict
before
who has blanks and who has doubles well in advance of this. So I'm not sure I need that wild card at 25 like I originally thought. So that's my thinking. That's my thinking behind why I am possibly leaning towards wildcarding. And I could also, you could argue, am I being aggressive or am I being more of a, is it a sword or is it a shield? You could argue it's both.
Yeah.
Because I'm shielding myself from a big rank, from a potentially quite significant rank drop. But at the same time, I'm attacking 19. But there's still a few little things which can go wrong with that. Grealish, one away from a booking, one away from a suspension. I've got him in my wildcard team at the moment.
Okay.
Am I going to leave him in there because of that reason? I'm not sure.
I'm just go on. Sorry, keep going.
So there's still a lot of things which can change, but by the time we get up to Monday, not Tuesday. By the time we get up to Monday, I will have made my mind up. But I think the key is like Swen's been doing. He's got tons of drafts. I'm sure Joe's got tons of drafts. I'm sure you've got tons of drafts.
Yeah.
Just don't hit the button.
Yeah. Are we able to get a glance of one of your drafts?
Well, I mean, what for my wild card?
Yeah.
Well, it's there. So
I'm just gonna throw it out there that just as we're doing the show, Sebastian Haller has joined Ajax on a permanent deal. Does that make that Antonio or Jared Bowen selection a little bit tastier?
I wouldn't pick Jared Bowen. That's me. Anyway.
No.
I mean, Antonio for me. If Antonio plays the cup,
because I'm just trying to think who else they've got up front.
I mean, look, if at the moment, if you can see, I've got Watkins in.
Yeah.
I could go Souček to Saka, play Saka, but Souček back in. I could go Watkins to Antonio and do it the other way around. I don't particularly want to lock in a hit the week after a wild card. Because I could easily end up making it a -8 just to try to then bench boost. So Grealish is
but then wouldn't that give you put you in a little bit of spot of bother? I mean, in terms of you're probably not getting 14, 15 double game week.
Exactly right. I mean, look, if I've got that, everybody else has. We can't do anything about that. We can't second guess, Bruno getting a rest or someone, or KDB.
Yeah, for sure. Because everyone will go down with you with that.
But my perspective is, what do I do with Watkins? Do I think Watkins is going to get more points than Antonio? Watkins playing 3 games is going to get more points than Antonio playing 2. That's my question. At the moment, I'm on Watkins because I think the fixtures Burnley, Southampton, West Ham, and Brighton are actually pretty good. And you'll see the green on there is actually my fixture difficulty. I've actually plugged my own fixture difficulty into Ben Crellin's sheet. So you can I can very clearly see where my fixture difficulty thinks the strong teams and where the weak teams are. And that's why it might lend itself to a wild card, because we are starting now to see Manchester City and Manchester United and probably Aston Villa standing out as attacking options, in my perspective.
Interesting. So a lot to think about, Mariner, before that Monday deadline. And I think, three of us are pretty much in the same boat in terms of, we're just going to wait and see and see if there are any, just as we see, the transfers happening. I mean, in the midst of all this, we totally forgot about the transfer window. You just never know these days, do you? I mean, what's going to happen in a transfer window? But we've just seen, obviously, Sebastian Haller has left West Ham. So, I mean, that could impact, picks like Antonio Souček. It could make a difference. So, interesting news there in regards to the wild card that you're contemplating, Mariner. Very different from what Sweng, very different from what Zhou is doing. But I mean, it's very good to see that kind of from that kind of perspective, and how you're planning it, and possibly even trying to protect your rank as well. So it's been one of those. Sweng. Has Mariner, brought up anything which has made you think, oh well, wildcard might be the way to go forward now?
Yeah, it did. I never thought of the wildcard, but the possibility of Grealish getting suspended is also.
Well, there is a few at Villa, if I'm not mistaken. I think Target's another one. I think Grealish is one. There are quite KWP. I think he's on 4 yellows as well. I think Mariner, you're just getting it up for us.
Yeah, this is other stuff. There's quite a few on yellow cards at the moment, and you do have to check it. If you're wild carding, you do have to check it, and if you're planning on bench boosting, you definitely have to check it as well, because you could just as easily end up by the time you get to the second game of game week 9 that you've got 2 or 3 a couple of suspensions, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it is. If you're out there thinking of using either the check free hit or wildcard, be sure to check and just make sure you're comfortable with having someone of the quality of Jack Grealish being on a yellow card. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna answer some questions that have been popping up on the right as we've been doing the show. Let me just go through the first ones. Let me just scroll all the way up. A lot of questions about the F1 for you, Mariner. F1 discussion. I thought I was on the right chat for a second. Mr. Bakun says Sweng loves his Welbeck. Yeah, he sure does. Hardy Ryan is in the same situation as Sweng. So you asked a question. UK scary. It is. Just trying to get to. I saw some questions pop up here. Okay, formations. Now, Hadi Ryan asked 3-4-3 or 3-5-2. Which is the way to go? I know personally, I started the season with a 3-5-2. As the season's progressed, I kind of came away from that. But currently, which is the formation to go on? I mean, I've seen 2 different things. I think Sweng, you're going with a 3-5-2 in game week 18. The rest of you have a 3-4-3, if I'm not mistaken. Joe, which one do you think is the way forward?
I think game week 18, you are probably looking more at a 3-5-2 because firstly, the big boys and the forwards are not playing. namely Vardy, Bamford, Ings, Adams, etc. So probably you would want to choose from two out of Kane, Martial, Lacazette, or Wilson. But Wilson, the hype is died off, I guess. So now the hype.
But surely against Sheffield United, it builds back up, doesn't it?
Who knows? Sheffield United.
I'm not so sure. I'm really not so sure. You'd be surprised, but Newcastle's attacking stats are really bad. Really bad. And in fact, Sheffield United's defensive stats look okay. So that tells you all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like when we watched the Sheffield United match, then we will say, oh, triple Newcastle defense.
Yeah.
But then when we watch Newcastle, we will say, oh.
To be fair, I mean, they did a good job defensively against Liverpool, didn't they? Not too long ago. So that's something to consider. Maybe not the Wilson thing, but still shakes of the head. So basically, it's a 3-5-2 game week 18.
1-1 or 0-0 that game. 1-0 or 0-0.
I mean, if we have a 1-1, then I think those who are on free hit will probably be really depressed.
If I was playing with 8 or 9 players, I would want, all 1-1 draws, all own goals, please.
Yeah. We're going to go on to the next question from. So wait, just to clarify, it's a 3-5-2 for 18. What about the future, the weeks, going on, and what formation are you playing right now, Joey? If I'm not mistaken, it's the 3-4-3. Yeah,
personally, I am a 3-4-3 person, and so far this season, with the budget strikers that we have seen so far, personally, I would still go for 3-4-3.
All right. Dean asked us, what if Son and Kane score more than the double game week players? They've got Sheffield United. Now, we're just speaking about Sheffield United. What are your thoughts? I mean, Spurs aren't the only one. I mean, Arsenal have great fixtures as well. What are your thoughts on getting single game week players in the double game week?
I mean, my perspective is Spurs are the standouts. So if you're going to go with a single game week player, you'd probably go with one of both of Son and Kane. If you've got 2, you're maybe not going to take them out. But my perspective is Spurs are standouts at that.
Okay. Swain?
Yeah, same as well.
Same as well? Okay. But what are your thoughts on single game week players, especially when the fixtures are so good? Sometimes you get those fixtures that are screaming out to you. I think Arsenal have a tasty one as well.
I think they're playing
Newcastle.
Yeah, in 19, and they're in a good run of form as well, Arsenal. Is it still risky? I mean, when you look at it, and obviously you get double game weeks, there's obviously that danger of players getting rested. There've been a lot of games that have come thick and fast in this festive period. And then you have someone like the single game week players who obviously would have had a game's rest. Any thoughts on that, or purely double game week players in 19 for you?
Yeah, I'll definitely look at the Spurs assets, especially Kane, because for sure Kane will play no matter what when he's fit.
Yeah. So Kane plays every game. You're okay with that?
My perspective, Craig, is I'm been flip-flopping between KDB and Son now for a while, and I'm going to carry on doing that.
Yeah, so, I mean,
me, KDB is a no-brainer over Son for the next few weeks. That's but that's the way my structure's actually setting out in my team. I'm not sure about Arsenal for a single game week personally. Obviously it's Newcastle, but attack wise, Arsenal are they're improving, but how would they really? They're probably a better option for defensively, actually, by the looks of the match.
Yeah.
Newcastle are that bad. attacking, but why would you play a single game weaker in defence? You're gonna go for it.
Yeah. My perspective on Spurs players in the single game week, if City didn't have the double game week, then it would be pretty obvious. But the problem is now City has a double game week and they both play at home and they are good fixtures.
Yeah.
So that really, probably casts a shadow on all the single game week players, unfortunately.
It does. And then you think about the fact that there's 4 teams playing 3 games in 2 weeks. And you can't ignore these players. You can't, and people are free hitting because and yet I can just wildcard and get that benefit. Yeah. So for me, that's one of the reasons why I'm just purely looking at loading up with double game week players. But no, I mean, look, nobody would ever say to me, I wouldn't have no problem with Son and Kane, and you may, particularly if you've got tons of money in DCL. Given the fact his fixtures, I know they're terrible at the moment, but the fixtures are turning a little bit. Would you hold DCL? There's an argument if you've got tons of value in DCL, you might hold him too. I probably won't, by the way.
Yeah. I think I got rid of him a couple of game weeks ago.
You probably cash in.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. This is a good one. What's the best replacement for Podence?
Oh, who wants that one? Who wants that one?
Well, I'm going to go to Joe first.
I really fancy Saka.
Okay, swing then. You like Saka?
Yeah, I don't mind Saka. I quite like El Ghazi. He's a bit more expensive. I like El Ghazi. Gundogan.
Yeah, Gundogan's been playing really well.
Gundogan.
Yep.
He's was he got 3 and 4 or something like that in the league?
And of course, the GOAT, that is Thomas Souček, of course, who we cannot forget has an absolutely amazing double game week.
Joe, I'm gonna throw a name at you, and just within that kind of price range as well. And the reason why I'm throwing his name in is because we've been so frustrated with him, since the start of the season, and that's Phil Foden. I knew I'd get that reaction. It's the same reaction Mariner gives me when I mention Che Adams. But Joe, I mean, Phil Foden, he's starting to come into Pep's plans now as the season progresses. He's starting to feature a lot, scoring goals, as we've seen in the last couple of weeks. Is he someone that could replace Podence?
Unfortunately, I think when Haziq asked about Podence, I would assume that he would need a player that plays on game week 18. Okay, so yes, City has a game in game week 18, but will Foden play? I don't know. I would assume he would need a firm.
Well, I'm just gonna say that Spurs do have a high COVID positive return, or whatever we want to call it, but they have quite a few players out with COVID. Ferran Torres being one of them. I mean, he usually plays on the wing, which is where Foden's playing right now. I think not sure about Silva. I'm not sure about his fitness, and obviously. I think they've got they've played Mahrez. Obviously, he played last night, but he's in and out of the squad. But with Foden's form, surely City are looking to build on this.
Right. For me, it's just too much of a risk. I mean, you're not going to bring a player like that in and then watch him miss one game and then play 15 minutes off the bench in the next one. No chance. Not in a million years. No way.
So who are you going with, Mariner? Best replacement for Podence? If you had to pick one, I need one from all 3 of you. Within that price range, by the way.
Gundogan.
Swing. Souček.
Oh damn! Yeah, I should have said Souček, really, shouldn't I? Since he's my lover. He eats potato salad, by the way. Did you know?
Say that again, sorry?
He said he normally goes home for Christmas and eats potato salad.
yeah. I read that. What diet?
That's what I've been eating, potato salad.
Anything that gets him 2-3 goals over the next couple of game weeks, I'm good with.
No, honestly, with all seriousness, Swen's right. Souček is a great option. Little bit, he's now getting up to around, he's about 10% owned now, I think.
It's steadily rising. Yeah.
Steadily rising. But there's still there's actually an argument you could run with 3 premiums and 2 5s now, in my opinion, in midfield. Yeah. There's a really strong argument for that. And that then allows you to go for Vardy.
Yeah.
And people like that up front. It allows you probably to go back to Ings, who's starting to play, to people like Vardy. Obviously you may have Kane already in Bamford. So if you've got that sort of structure, 2 5.5s and find a way to rotate them in that 3-4-3, why not?
Yeah.
I should have some value there at the moment in that 5 million chunk.
Okay, Joe, quick name from you before we move on to the next question.
I seen Dean mention Rafinha.
Yeah,
that would be my pick.
Okay.
As well. I mean, since you guys mentioned the other 2 best picks.
All right. Next question is from Astrolicious. As always, thank you for joining us. If I have the 4th option, Kane, Son, Bruno, and KDB, can I just go with the 9 players for game week 18 and save the free hit? Mariner shaking your head. Shoot.
I've got to be honest with you. I think Spurs don't have great matchups. I think, and how many Villa players has he got? That's the question. Because if you've got Villa, let's say if you've got Martinez and perhaps and someone else, hopefully not double defence, but so Martinez, there's players who potentially starting to take points off each other, right?
Yeah.
And I do think Spurs will probably win, but I don't think there'll be an awful lot in it. I think it'll be quite tight. So I do think equal. How many free hits are going to actually go on Son and Kane?
Yeah, not many.
I don't think many will.
Yeah.
That's my perspective.
No, I don't see Spurs going big this game week.
You don't see them going big?
No.
No. Any reason for that?
Villa's a good team.
You rate Villa, do you?
Yeah.
I mean, I was just going to, Craig, I'm just going to flash my thing back up on the screen. Just give me a second and then, there you go. I'll share this now.
And then you can kneel your captain option.
Screen 1. There we go. Share. Right, hang on a second. So you'll see here that you go to that. You get it?
Here we go.
Yeah. So you'll see here that Spurs not great attacking against Villa. Look, not great at all.
Yeah.
So clearly Villa are not conceding. This works on shots in box, big chances created, an XG against big chances conceded, XGA, and shots in box conceded. Okay. So on the basis of this suggests to me that that's a tough matchup. But look at Man United, look at Man City, look at Arsenal, even Villa. And I actually did a call the other day that if you want to tip for a headed goal this week, it's probably Tyrone Mings or Constant.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Constant's been getting himself into good positions, hasn't he?
Probably one of those. So I think, look, if you're looking at attack, you're looking at Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Villa. If you're looking at defence, you're clearly looking at Arsenal. And then the rest, I mean, even Man City aren't great. Amazingly, Man City are not great, but they've much improved in the last 4. So I think you can ignore that stat.
All right.
This takes into account some later stuff. But I think now looks like Manchester City are well worthy of the double up.
Okay, Astrolicious, hope that answers your questions. Antonio was always tasty, just to be fit. His fixture proves. A lot of talk about Antonio now that I brought up the fact that Hala has been sold by West Ham. But yes, fitness is a big issue for Michail Antonio. Vincent says, Joe, you legend. I can fill 9 players. Martinez, Stones, Diaz, Mitchell, KDB, Bruno, Grealish, Son, Kane, DCL in blank game week 18. But I'm still tempted to play free hit. What do you think? Surely that's a bit of a waste.
Yeah. I mean,
possible.
Unless Mitchell gets benched again. But I would still probably take a hit at most, to also build up the game week 19 team, and just save the free hit. Because I just want to add to the previous, I think Astralicious one, the 4 horsemen. It really depends on the rest of his team, because if you talk about Spurs assets, especially like Son and Kane, yes, their matchup in terms of the metric and stats are not looking that good, but they are you have to admit they are really still heavily owned. So even
are they this week though? Are they as highly owned this week? I'm not sure. I think they'll drop.
Yeah, they will a bit, but currently I think Son is still 60.
Yeah, 63. Still. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Spurs are not good picks. What I'm saying is, I think if you're looking at putting a great load of money into somebody in a free hit side, or particularly something like that, but if you've got them, I suppose you can play them anyway. Yeah. But certainly as a free hit, I think there's far better options. Than
I mean, I have to agree with you on that, Chris. But I think Astralicious, he was saying that he has Son and Kane. Should he save that free hit? Maybe.
I don't know. Let me just have a look. Hang on. Let me have another look. So, but he's not told us who else he's got, and I think that's the
the key thing, isn't it?
That's the key thing for me, because Kane, Son, Bruno, KDB, but what else is in that? Kane, Son, Bruno. I would say the horseman here. There's Rashford to think about, right? You can't ignore somebody like Rashford this week, in my opinion.
Sterling
or KDB is going to be a bit of a tough one as well.
KDB. I mean, I've already gone on record a few times this week saying, Sterling could be an absolute gold mine this week if he comes off, and it is really a Sterling game. Oddly, it's a Sterling sort of game.
He had a hat. I think the last time he played.
But what Sterling does, he gets the ball, he gets through onto a one-on-one, then he turns back on himself, does 3 pirouettes, a triple salco, and then falls over the ball or hits the post, and then it comes out to KDB, right? No disrespect, but Sterling to me, Sterling still seems to be a little bit. He's not quite there, is he?
No, he's not. From what I've seen, he doesn't seem like it's sharp enough. And right now, I mean, look at that Chelsea match as well. KDB playing in a very advanced position. And even yesterday against United, he didn't play right up top, but he's still getting those attacking areas and hit the crossbar. So he's still getting his shots off. And I think a few games earlier on in the season was saying how unlucky he was, missing one-on-ones, and so it really depends on your confidence as well. And if you're talking about confidence right now, I think KDB is slightly ahead of Sterling in that respect.
And KDB is still underperforming his stats. Still.
Yeah.
So for that perspective, KDB to me is pretty much a lock-in now for the next probably 7 or 8, 9 or 7, 8, 9 game weeks. Injuries permitting. Sterling for me, if I was bringing Sterling in, I'd bring him in and then probably move him out. But I don't think I've had no problem with playing double City, but I do think there's more value probably playing a double City defence than a double City attack. And the reason is, what can you do with that extra 2 million or something like that? by downgrading Sterling to somebody else, to a Rashford. You can then take Grealish up to Antonio. Sorry, Grealish. You can take Bruce up to Antonio or someone like that, you know. And all of a sudden, it just changes your team completely. So I think if you're going to spend 11 million on a player, you've got to be absolutely certain he's going to nail it. Free hit's different.
It kind of got sidetracked a little bit from Astrolicious' question, but we didn't know his full team. No, sorry, not Astrolicious. Sorry, I think we were on. So I'm getting myself confused. Vincent's team. That's it. Vincent's team. But we didn't get the whole thing. But 9 players. We mentioned 8 was what the poll said to be enough. 9 should be okay to navigate through that game week, right?
If you're prepared to take a bit of a drop.
Yeah,
I think even with 9, I think you might take a bit of a drop, but you might be lucky. 8, you're in 8.
DCL can come in hard, and you know, I don't think a lot of people will have him in a free hit.
That's true. Just my luck.
Dean asked us, we'll come on. I mean, we kind of just touched upon it actually. Do you think Sterling over Salah for the next 4 to 5 weeks would be better than having Salah as a differential? That's a good question, that.
Joe?
I mean, you'd expect quick fire sales this week and next week for KDB to fund that KDB move. You'd expect a lot of Salah sales.
I mean, Joe?
This is a tough one because firstly, Salah is. I mean, if you're talking about pure differential over the next 4 to 5 weeks. I mean, would be better as a differential. Yeah, I think he would be better as a differential. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you
Salah, that is, yeah.
Sorry.
You talking about Salah or Sterling?
I'm talking about Sterling over Salah. I mean, if you're talking about pure differential, you're going for it. You know, you're going for the ranks and things like that. The mini leagues. Yeah, go for it. You know, the fixtures are there. You know, the form, I would say, you know, Salah past few games, he's not really in form as well. So who knows? Sterling in terms of form might be slightly better than Salah, and he has a game week on 18. So yeah. I would say he, as a differential, he is better than Salah.
Okay. Next question. This is kind of away from FPL, I think. Which big team matches in game week 18 might be a disappointment?
The ones that are postponed.
I mean, the one that comes to mind. The one that comes to mind is the one that we've spoken about a little bit earlier, which is our good old Newcastle or Sheffield United versus Newcastle.
Yeah, it's a shocker, isn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't sound like it's going to be easy on the eye.
The only reason you'd watch it is if you were unfortunate enough to own Callum Wilson.
Or triple captaining him.
Captain him or something. I don't think anyone's going to do that. But you know, clearly that. As I said, some of these games don't really fill me with too much, too much excitement. But I do think, you know, as I've seen in these drafts earlier, it's distinctly possible that, you know, Newcastle, Darlow was a potential very, very good option. So, but I don't know that do you ever watch matches which you don't want to watch for a goalkeeper? No, I can't watch it.
I watch matches that I don't want to watch because there's nothing else on, no other games. So I do find myself, but I would never stay up at 4 a.m. to watch Carl Darlow play against Sheffield United. No offense to him, I think he's done really well last week. But yeah, sorry, not staying up that kind. I'm not sacrificing my sleep for you. We're going to move on to Ali Sufyan Ruslan. Thanks for joining us again. I know you're a bit of a regular for us. Should I go with 7 blank game week 18 to get the red arrow? Just because I don't want to be using my free hit chip with the same template as others for this week. Long-term investment. So he's looking long-term for this. Guys,
It's brave. It's brave given COVID.
Yeah.
That's my view. Because you're going in with 7. You could how many players have we been losing in the last few weeks? 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Of course, there's fewer matches, but it only takes just some news to come in after the deadline. And for example, I think our Arsenal the last game.
Yes, against Crystal Palace.
Everyone's been saying, "Oh God, what if we find out that Arsenal's off, after the deadline or something like that?" Yeah. That's why I think 7 is probably a tiny bit low. I think 8 you can just about get away with, provided you nail the captain.
Yeah.
9, I think you're relatively safe. 10, I think you're very safe.
Okay.
But I just think 7. I'm similar to Ali. Actually, I'm in a similar situation with him. So, and if he's been watching throughout, he'll know that I'm thinking about wildcarding because I cannot get to bench boost either.
Yeah. Okay. Vincent says, I triple captain Joe last week. Give me back the chip. Yes, I feel your pain. I did give him the armband initially, but there was a bit of a leak. I got a bit of team news early, and I ended up giving it to Marin. So I got away with that one.
I mean, it just reminded me of Mane last year.
Last couple of questions before we wrap the show up. If Fernandes plays 90 against Watford, will he play all minutes in the game against Burnley? I think that's a question for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if I'm being honest with you. But something tells me, as a United fan, watching a lot of them, I think he's played a lot of football. I think this would be the game he gets rested in. It was either going to be the derby or Watford, and he played the whole 90 yesterday. So I'm guessing Van der Beek gets his chance.
Did Solskjaer say that he was possibly going to rest? I think he did at the weekend. So,
but I think that was always going to happen.
We will see how he feels. I think so. I think if he's fit, I think he'll probably play. But
he'll make the bench. He'll make the bench, and then if United need him,
if they're struggling, yeah. But I expect to see a lot of rotation this weekend with the FA Cup. Loads.
Yeah, I mean, like Pep did hinted Aguero
might get some run out. Yeah,
against Birmingham.
Yeah. Well, now they've got Jesus back as well, haven't they? So that's a bit of a dilemma. They got top from having no strikers. Now they've got both of them back. So that's not good for the FPL managers.
Is he fully fit though, or is he?
Yeah, he was
still a bit COVID-y? Is he still?
Yeah, he was on the bench.
Sorry.
Oh, so is he fully fit now, or is he back with the? Because obviously some of these players are coming back, and they're not.
Well, he was on the bench last night
when they come back at the moment.
Yeah, he was on the bench last night, so I think he should be all right. Gavin, thanks for joining us. Who would you choose between Tierney and Cancelo for free hit game week 18? I already have Diaz. Boys, 1 out of the 2, Cancelo or Tierney? Swing.
Cancelo.
Cancelo for you. Zhao?
I would go Tierney and double City attack.
Oh, okay, fair. Mariner?
I'm going to say Zaha's going to, again, piss James off, and Zaha's going to score. So I think that
Cancelo.
So I'm going to go with Cancelo. But no, with all seriousness, Tierney all of a sudden come up on the radar.
Yeah.
But for a long time, Tierney's been nowhere in my thoughts, and all of a sudden he seems like the best thing since sliced bread. I really need to watch.
You can't be surprised. I mean, with the team that he was playing with, it was a team that was very short of confidence, wasn't it?
Of course, there is that, but I just think, I suppose there's no harm in having an Arsenal defender for if you're looking at it free hitting. But would you go with, I don't know, would you pile your money into midfield and go with Holding?
4.9, I think. 4.8, yeah. Very good value there. You don't get the attacking returns, though. That would be only...
Tierney doesn't normally.
He gets forward. I mean, he won the penalty. He won the penalty, didn't he, against Chelsea?
I mean, that's just my perspective. Look, I'm just saying how I see it. I don't know. I'm all in for midfield and attack for this free hit. I would be absolutely clobbering, putting all my value in midfield and attack. That's if I was.
Yeah, Chris, I just heard what you say about that. I'll probably show you another draft I've just made.
Okay. Just made. No wonder you've been quiet there, Joe.
Yeah.
Huh? That's what you're doing.
No. I mean, it's not up now. It's on my phone.
Oh. I don't know how we're going to get that up. All right. Cheers for that. Okay. Last question before we go. Sorry, it's part 1 of 2. Sorry. Currently, I've got Martinez, Justin, KWP, Diaz, Lamptey, Son, KDB, Salah, Rafinha, Kane, DCL, Watkins, and was wondering with 2 free transfers, which transfers I should make. As one, I think will be Salah out, but can't decide between Bruno and Sterling.
Oh God.
So I mean that's a tough one because we've just talked about Sterling and KDB and how it's we just don't know who's going to bang. But at the moment, we're leaning towards KDB. But with Bruno and Sterling, now obviously Bruno's advantage is that he plays nearly every game for Man United. There's not much of a rotation risk in that respect. But and he's also United's penalty taker.
I mean, look, I'm just going to say one thing. Bruno tops the captaincy metric this week.
There we go. Done. That's all we need. Show.
And to be honest, I think he'll top it for a few weeks now.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't captain for the next 3.
I mean,
Joe,
I really would.
Yeah, I mean, I was currently on my mind to triple captain Bruno on Game Week 19. So.
Okay, and Swen, Sterling or Bruno?
I'll do both, to be honest.
Bruno for you, Swen, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bruno.
Sweet. Guys, that's all the time we have for now. Sorry, a few messages coming in just at the end there. Gavin says, thanks for the advice. Astrolicious, spoiler alert. Sadly, Bruno once again looks very tired and will be rested very soon. And that soon will be in the FA Cup this weekend.
I think so.
We're almost certain of that.
I hope so.
Boys, it's been a pleasure. It's been a long one, but we've had a lot to talk about in terms of the next 2 game weeks. Mariner, wish you all the best in terms of deciding what you are going to do, whether it's going to be a free hit, whether it's going to be a wild card. We'll know closer to the deadline, I'm guessing. And that's how we are right now in terms of flipping for it. Joe, free hit man, played yours early. Thanks for sharing with us your almost certain draft that you're gonna do. And we wish you all the best for the coming game weeks. Swang. Debutant, great show today. Thanks for coming on, and I hope you enjoyed the experience as well. And obviously mixing it with the big boys in Marina and Joe. Likewise, you've yet to play your chip, but you're leaning towards that free hit, and we wish you all the best for that.
Are you saying I'm fat?
I mean, I wanted to say older boys, but
before the show, I did actually ask Swing if I could swear. I thought it was underrated.
Marina, I'm going to give you a chance to shout out for your new segment that you're doing, your new channel that you're going to be starting up soon.
Yeah, thanks, Craig. So. As I announced this morning, I've been on an iron for a little while, and I've decided that because the captain metrics got quite a bit of a following now, and equally some of the matchups and the statistics a lot of people like, so I'm closing in on 4,000 followers on Twitter now. I've decided to do a little bit of something on my own to the side of expectations, and for that reason, it's not going to change anything here. I'm still going to carry on as normal, but the idea is to start. Probably next Friday, week on Friday, and it'll be like an introduction show. So basically, I'm going to invite a number of you guys on, a few other people, Lens and a few others, and we'll just have a bit of a general chit chat about as we're coming up to the deadline, actually. But the idea is to do 2 or 3 shows a week, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Suchek watch.
Yeah, we all need one of those. But no, it's it's going to be great, guys. If you're still with us and you're still watching, Mariner will be posting about it on his Twitter page. So do follow him at FPL Mariner for all your updates. Like he said, Friday he's looking to drop the first episode. So stay tuned, and I'm sure he'll give you more info about that. And before I close up, once again, thank you, boys. Thank you for all your help. And obviously all your knowledge and expertise, as always. It's been a pleasure having all three of you on. It's been a long one, but I hope it's going to be a fruitful one for all of you who are playing your chips this week in Game Week 18. So that's all for me. Do follow the boys. It's at FPL Mariner. It's at FPL_swing and at Joe FPL. And don't forget as well, do follow me on my personal Twitter. It's at Craig Marias 11. If you're not following FPL Expectations on Twitter, please do give them a follow. It's at FPL Expectations, and do subscribe to FPL Expectations on YouTube, which you're now watching. You'll get a notification if you click the bell next to it. And, you know, every time we post some content up here, you'll be alerted and you can log on straight away and see what our experts have in store for you. It's going to be a hell of a Game Week 18 and Game Week 19. We still don't know what we're doing. I hope you do after the show. I heard that, Mariner. I heard that. But all the best for Game Week 18. Hopefully it helps you. And good luck. And may the FPL gods be with you.